Well, hello everybody, and welcome to week number 7 of EDU6100. I'm back, feeling better. My voice is all back to normal, and I want to tell you that was one nasty bug. I hope you guys don't get it. Amazingly enough, I had it at the start of the semester, and then my kids gave it back to me. Hence, being with kids every single day. But I want to tell you, it's been a great experience. I love these kids. I really want to help them, and it's been a really neat process for me and a great career move to get back in the classroom working with kids, remembering what we're doing and why it's so important. So as you transition into administrators, you become administrators, I want you to think about that. And that's something that I've tried to never lose, is how important it is to remember that we're about kids, what it's like to be a classroom teacher, and their job is really what makes our districts go. So week 7, we're coming close to the midpoint of the course, and I want to kind of give you a map of where we're at, where we're going. So week 7, you are reading the next 2 chapters in the Leithwood text, chapters 4 and 5. I'm going to give you some information in a few minutes on chapters 3, 4, and 5 in Leithwood, and also chapter 3 in Fulham. Those are the chapters we've read so far. This week, you also have a required viewing video that's in the portal. And finally, the Module 3 discussion forum. Now, really important on the Module 3 discussion forum, this is week 7. Lise, you are the first person to post. I think you already did that. And then everybody has to respond to you, and then you will respond to them in the end. And when I looked the other day, it looked like everybody had almost responded. Maybe one of you hadn't. So if you're ahead of the game, great, no big deal. But if you haven't responded yet to Lise, please make sure you do so by next Sunday. That gives her Monday to go ahead and respond. So response by the 24th, and then she can respond by the 25th. That's going to lead us right into the midterm exam, which is week 8. That is your only real assignment during week 8, because you have some reading to do, but you got a week off. So I was able to give you spring break off, which is fantastic. The midterm exam, very simple. 6 questions, all essay, all related to the first 3 chapters in Fulham or the first 5 chapters in Leithwood. I'm going to leave it at that because in my last piece, I went over the first couple chapters in each book. And today, I'm going to go over those 3 chapters in Leithwood and number 3 in Fulham. I'm going to give you information that will appear on these questions. I'm really asking to see what you've picked up from the reading and how you're going to use it as far as being an administrator or somebody in a school. How do these things affect the things you're going to do? And I'll talk more about that when I come to the information there. The week after that, the week of March the 5th, is going to be spring break. Now, this is really important, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to give you some information. The midterm exam is open from 2/26 until 3/4. That's Monday 3/4. I think I told you guys before, I'm going to be gone the week of 3/2 to 3/10. I'm gone the whole week on a cruise with my daughter. It's her spring break from UF, and she and I are going away. Don't worry, the wife and son will be home working, but they're getting their chance to go away in June, and they're going on a cruise themselves when I got to work. It's a busy time of the year for me in June, and I can't take off then. And hopefully my daughter will be in nursing school at the time. So all good things with that. But this is very important. Our cruise sails on March 2nd. March 3rd, we're at sea. March 4th, we're in an island in Haiti where I don't think I get service. So please do not wait until March 3rd or March 4th to take the exam and then try and contact me because you can't get in. I will not get cell service again until March 5th when we're in Puerto Rico, and I'll be like I'm at home. So if you have questions, you can call me. But that's going to be during spring break anyway. However, what I found out the last time I sailed on Royal Caribbean, who we're going on again, is I was able to receive and send iMessages. Now, I'm hoping that works again, but I can't promise you that piece, and I won't know until I'm actually on the ship on Saturday. If that is the case, I'll try and get a message out to you. Those of you with iPhones, you can send me an iMessage if you have questions on the 3rd or the 4th. But remember, I still will not be able to fix anything because I won't have any internet. I'm not paying for the internet on the ship. This is vacation for me. But I will have service, like I said, while I'm in the islands down in the Caribbean where my phone does work like I'm at home. So that's important stuff for you. The week of March 5th, you guys are off. Nothing to worry about. But you might want to be working ahead because we're going to be looking at chapter 4 in the Leithwood book. I'm sorry, Fulham book, and chapter 6 in the Leithwood book. And then the following week when we come back on March 12th, we're going to look at chapter 7 in the Leithwood book. And you've got 2 assignments due that week. You got the Module 4 discussion that week. And let me pull it up, and I'm going to tell you exactly who our presenter is that week. So that one is going to be Kathy. You've got our first post there during that particular one. The other thing is the John Hattie Research High Impact Leadership Strategies. I noticed some of you already put it up there in chalk and wire. Great. If you're done, no worries. If you're not done, I'm going to go over that one tonight in my video as well. So that's kind of where we're at and where we're going. The other thing that's going to be in my email to you guys tonight with this video is a link to a, drew a blank. It's not a sign-up genius. It's a one of those poll things. I'll think about it when I figure it out, and I'll email it to you, where you can pick from dates. Remember that last assignment, the WCG number 5, is a presentation. It's your presentation of number 4 you guys have already worked on and turned in. So this is important. You're going to be presenting it, and what I'm hoping to do is pick 2 nights. I'm going to give you like 7 or 8 dates, and we're going to find 2 nights when all 5 of us can be online together in Zoom. The first night, 2 of you will present. The second night, the other 2 will present, and that way you get a chance to present out your work. That assignment is not due until April 1. So those dates will all be in April, and I'm looking at them now to try and figure out what works best. I'm going to give you some Sundays, which I know have worked for some of you. I'll give you a couple of weeknights as well, and we'll go from there. But we've got to make sure all 5 of us can be there. If I can't find 2 dates, I'll send more out. We'll make sure we can do that to make this work, because normally if we were face-to-face, you'd be doing that in class. Okay? So that's something to be looking ahead at with that piece. Let me take some time now and go over the John Hattie assignment, WCG number 3. You will find information describing the research paper. It's a 5-page paper on page 6 of your syllabus. And then if you look over at your rubric for this assignment, you'll see there's several areas you've got to do. You've got to look at different areas of high impact. You're looking for 3 strategies that can be shared about high impact leadership strategies, and you've got to talk about those strategies in detail across 5 pages. So think about that. Introductory paragraph, conclusion paragraph, and somewhere in the middle you're spending a little more than the page on each of those strategies and how they would impact you as a leader. By the way, it's all based off research from John Hattie. So make sure you're pulling from his work, whether you have his texts or you're looking online. Either way is fine with that. And I will not be looking at the ones that are over there in chalk and wire yet. I'm still trying to catch up on some other things. I'm teaching a class right now at HCC that's face-to-face at Edmonton on Wednesday night. And when that's done, I'll have time to dedicate to what I'm doing with you guys. And during my spring break, which is not the week I'm gone, not the week I come back, but the week after that, the week I think of the 16th, I'll be working on catching up on some of those papers and grading all that information for you guys. All right, let's talk now first about Fullen Chapter 3. It talks about motivating teachers. This is a very difficult thing for administrators. And one of the key things that he has to do as a leader, or she has to do as a leader, is find ways to motivate people. And realize, number 1, money is not always the thing. It's about support, it's about guidance, it's about help, it's about appreciation. People work for appreciation. They don't work for you long enough if they're just making more money. And so there's a list of 7 things about extrinsic motivators. They're good for some point, but at some point you got to help people see the work they're doing and why it's so important. For example, when I see some of these kids I'm working with every day who've not had much success in school, all of a sudden the light bulb goes on above their head, I'm celebrating with them, and that's a huge piece. But Fullen, he talks about things like extrinsic motivators extinguishing intrinsic motivation. We rely too much on that outside piece. They might diminish performance. They might crush creativity. They might crowd out good behavior. They might encourage cheating or shortcuts. They might become additive, meaning you have to give more extrinsic rewards to get the same kind of piece. And they sometimes foster short-term thinking. There's a big piece in this chapter on that, on those things that diminish motivation through extrinsic motivators if you rely too much on them. They're good intermittently, unexpectedly. Not something that, for example, a kid does an assignment, he gets a candy. Every time he does an assignment, he gets a candy. You can't do it every time. You got to do it at random times. You got to make sure they're working for it, and that's the piece that's really important in here. So that's a piece there with Fullen's work on Chapter 3. Moving on to Leithwood, where we're into chapters 3, 4, and 5. Chapter 3 is really just an example of what we talked about in Chapter 2. As you read through it, they've taken those 3 stages of school turnaround and given you some real stories of where it's happened. A really, really neat read. In Chapters 4 and 5, you've got a list of items in there that are great. It's around the same topic that Fullen's talking about. Leithwood and Fullen, Fullen is talking about with motivating and inspiring people. It talks about how you get buy-in from people. It talks about how you get people involved. It talks about how you get people that want to work together. For example, one of the key things, it talks about creating high-performance expectations. That's something you have to do together as a team. Communication. You've got to talk to your people on a regular basis. Direction setting is huge. One of the specific things about direction that's so important is promoting communication between people in the school, that they talk to each other, they have conversations, they work together. One of the things I've tried to do since I've been on campus at the elementary school, there's down to 3 of us now for 4 classrooms, but we're making it work. I'm bonding with the other 2 teachers to try and make things work together. The last chapter we talk about in Leithwood is on building capacity. This is important. You, as an administrator, cannot do all the work. You and your AP, you as the AP, you can't do all the work. You must find ways to get other people involved and build capacity. This doesn't mean everybody becomes an assistant principal. This includes teacher leaders who might serve as a PLC facilitator. This includes teacher leaders who might serve as a school improvement chair, whatever it's called in your school. This is a teacher who serves as a committee chair, somebody who just is there to support teachers as a friend. Those types of people are really important, and they may not want anything more than to be a successful classroom teacher. They may not want to be a promoted person. They just want to be appreciated and feel supported themselves and offer up what they're good at and what they can do. One of the things you as an administrator must do is really challenge your teachers intellectually. You must work with them. You must develop them. You must help them get better. And you're going to face, as an administrator, 3 types of people. Number 1, the people like you who want to move up. Number 2, the people who say, I want to be a teacher. Help me be a better teacher. That's also your job. Number 3, I'm here to be a thorn in your side. That's right. I'm here to make your life miserable. And so what I tell you on those people is keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer, and kill them with kindness. Be as nice as possible as you can be and kill them with kindness. The other day I told some of my boys who were writing a little bit, I said, you know what? You guys are silly, but I love you. And they went nuts. They're like, no, you don't love us. I said, yes, I do. I love you. Not that way, guys. Don't worry. Happily married, 23 plus years, but I love you guys, and I really want you to be supported and really think about the way that works with faculty to make them feel as if you are behind them and helping them in that piece. So that really is the gist of those 3 chapters in Leithwood and the 1 chapter in Fullen. Good stuff that's going to help you as a leader, but most importantly, you've got to come back to this idea of how do you get buy-in from the people who work for you and work around you. That is the key piece right there. There's a transformation. There's a great book out there that we don't cover in this course, but I encourage you to read it. It's Developing the Leader Within You. Developing the Leader Within You. And for a moment, I am drawing a blank on the author. And he's John Maxwell, Developing the Leader Within You. And if you just read the first 2 chapters of that book, you will get so much information about being a better leader. You go beyond that, that's great. It's all good stuff. I've read it a couple times. I've trained that book. Here's the thing he says. He talks about 5 levels of leadership. What you need to worry about is levels 1 and 2 for right now. Level 1, when you're learning your position as an assistant principal or principal, people follow you because they have to. You've been appointed, they have to follow you. Level 2, where you start to learn the people and develop relationships. This is where it transforms from people having to follow you to wanting to follow you. That is when you become a leader. You become a leader when people want to follow you and want to be behind you and want to follow your vision and wherever it is. I worked for a couple principals like that. Never had a chance to work for the one twice. I would love to. She was fantastic. But another one, I got a chance to work with him again in a different capacity because he made me feel like I was an effective person. He developed a relationship with me, and that is really huge. 3, 4, and 5 are important as well, but I'm going to tell you, if you don't build relationships with people, you're never going to get them to support you. By the way, that's one reason I incorporated these goofy videos of me in this course, because you need to get a chance to come and get to meet me. Those of you who've been in Dr. Hassan's summer class, and I came and saw you last summer and met you for the first time, same reason why I did it. I'll be there again this August. Relationships are the most important thing we can develop as educators. So, wow, 15 minutes. I am sorry, but a lot of stuff to cover. Replay this as many times as you want. In the email, there'll be a link in there for you guys to pick what dates work for you. I'm going to give you like 5 or 6 dates, something like that. And then we'll go from there in April and figure out when we do those presentations online. You guys have a great, great week. Hope you enjoyed today off. If you were off, I went and worked, but there was no school, so I got to go to my office. And actually, it was quiet, which is nice. So you guys have a great evening. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you real soon.